Okay, thanks for your patience, Rob. We have worked hard to make this a fair proposal, but we know that you're the judge and jury. We know that if it's not fair, you will go somewhere else to buy a car. If you do that, shame on us. We know that if you don't like these numbers, you will get back into the car that you had hoped to sell us today, and you will do one of two things. You'll either go home, have a drink if you're a drinking man, and scream to anybody in earshot how difficult it is to buy a car, but the problem is when you get up the next morning, the car you had tried to sell, you wanted to sell today is still in your garage, and you have to start all over. Now, if you're highly energized and highly motivated, shoot, you may go to another dealership today. And if you do, taking into consideration travel time, meeting a new salesperson, going through their process, 3 or 4 hours from now, you're in exactly the same spot you and I are right now. Again, if that happens, we take full responsibility. We want this to work for you. We don't want you to have to continue your shopping. You've done a ton of research. You are well prepared. We want to make sure we are too. Now, the car you picked out, the Civic, just the way you wanted it equipped, correct?
It is, yeah.
And the color's right.
Yep.
Here is your opportunity. You own it for $19,755. Actually, that's the MSRP. The good news is you don't own it for that because we are going to discount it $2,614, which means you own it for $17,141. All right, tremendous discount. Your car, we love it. We'll buy it for $9,000. Now, when you add the fees and the taxes in, what you've got is a difference of $94.20. Now, we've given you a number of different plans, 9 as a matter of fact. Well, before I get into the plans, don't let me forget to mention this. By trading your car to us, you save $585. Now, if you tack that $585 onto the $2,614 discount, we have discounted this, well, you're saving over $3,000 on this Civic. Now, payment plans. We've given you 3 terms. At the shorter term, you're going to have higher payments. But with a higher payment, several great things happen for you. You save money, you pay it off sooner, you build equity faster, and you can trade or sell it sooner if you so desire. At the longer term, well, it's a more comfortable payment because it's lower. However, you've got the flexibility of paying it off early without any prepayment penalty, so you enjoy the money savings, the equity build, and the ability to trade it sooner rather than later. Now, cash down, here we've got 0, and the reason we put 0 down here is because you've got $9,000 in equity. However, if you want to add $1,000 or $2,000, all it does is drive your payment down. So, you've got a payment here, we'll use 0 down. This is the highest payment, however, it saves you the most money. At 60 months, it goes all the way down to $192 to $201, and you have the flexibility of paying it off early if you so desire. And at 54 months, basically, it's the best of both worlds. So, Rob, if you will initial the payment that works best for you and sign right here, we'll get your new vehicle ready for delivery.
Okay, I just wanted to, I have an issue with the trade amount. I don't feel like that's enough for my
Okay, all right. Rob, the fact that you tell me that we're not giving you enough for the trade is evidence that you are a completely normal human being. Virtually everybody that buys a car from us says exactly the same thing, so it's not a problem, we understand. Other than the trade, though, everything else is fine. Nothing else will stop you from taking delivery today, correct?
That's true.
Okay. Rob, you know, the $9,000 that we'll buy your car for is our initial investment into that vehicle, okay? You don't know us that well yet, but in the coming months, you're going to find out that we're a group that does what we say we're going to do. I mentioned to you earlier that the first oil change is on us. Okay, and I'll show you how to get the second oil change on us as well. We also will make sure that you never pay for another tire rotation as long as you own the car. We're going to do what we say we're going to do. So 4 or 5 months from now, you're going to be out playing golf, you're going to be at church, you're going to be at work. Someone's going to be talking about they have a need for a pre-owned car. And we hope by that time that you got the confidence in us to send them to us. By the way, if they do buy a car from us, and you send them to us, we will send either you or the charity of your choice a check for $100. But when they get here, they're going to find a bunch of pretty cars, and I'll tell you how we make them pretty in just a few minutes. But if they bought a car from us, having been sent to us by you, and they took the car home and they were showing it off, and someone came over and said, hey, that's a pretty car, it's a pretty dangerous car, because it needs 4 tires, how happy would they be with you?
Not happy.
No. Well, we're not going to let that happen. Rob, we're going to do a number of things to this vehicle after we buy it from you for $9,000. All right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to replace all 4 tires. You know, we talked about that when we were out at your car. Again, we love the car. That's why we'll buy it for $9 grand. But if you were to pay for 4 tires for that car, well, what would it cost?
Probably about $1,000.
Okay. Well, you know what? We buy them in bulk. I guarantee you we can do it for less. We may only spend $800. Now, we'll detail the car. In order for us to sell a pre-owned car off our lot, we have to bring it up to nearly new condition. And I'm not talking about running it through a car wash and wiping it down. We'll send it to our detail department where they are liable to have to unbolt all the seats, take them out, steam clean them, take a toothbrush to the interior, shampoo the carpets, put it up on a rack, pressure wash the undercarriage, and bring it down and steam clean the engine. Then we put a special solution on every one of the vehicles to renew the paint. Now, Rob, if you were to take that to Mr. Clean and say, by the way, in addition to what you guys normally do me a favor, unbolt all those seats, take them out, steam clean, shampoo the carpets, take a toothbrush to the interior, put it up on a rack, pressure wash the undercarriage, bring it down, steam clean the engine, then put a special solution on the outside and renew the paint. What do you think they charge you for all that?
Yeah, probably over $300.
Well, we do it every day. We spend about $1.50. Okay? Your vehicle's got no necessary repairs that we could see. All right? However, you've been to a shopping mall. You know how I know that? You got dings and dents like everybody else in Atlanta. It costs us about $100 per side to have a paintless or a paintless dent guy come out and take the dents out, and we have to do that before we can sell it. You haven't done your 60,000 mile service yet, and that's smart because you knew you were going to trade the car. Had you done that service, it would have cost you close to $500. We're going to service the car. We will spend way less than you would have. So what you did there was smart. We'll spend, between the transmission flush and the oil changes and the rest of the services due, we'll spend around $300. And there's really nothing else needed. So, do me a favor, add this up real quick if you would. Now, $150 plus $500 plus $800.
$1,450.
All right. So before anybody will get a chance to look at your car, drive it, much less buy it, we will have invested a total of $10,450. I'm sorry, that's $1,450 there, $10,450 there. So that would be our total investment in the trade, $10,450. Now, add back in, remember the $585 I told you about? All right, add that back in, and there's no real market force considerations. What that is, Rob, is if you were trading in an SUV and gas prices were spiking, well, there's going to be a downward pressure on the prices of all SUVs everywhere. Back a few years ago when Ford had the Explorer had the rollover problem, literally every Explorer in the country dropped in value by 25% overnight. But there's nothing like that that affects your car. So we'll buy your car for $9,000. We'll have to put $1,450 in it in order to get it ready for sale. And when you throw in the $585 that you're going to get for trading it in, the net effect is $9,585. Now that's not what we'll give you. I don't want to mislead you, but that $585 literally comes right off your tax bill. So with all that in mind, I just need to know, is this exactly how you want it titled? And if so, I need you to okay that right there.
Okay, I really wanted $10,500 for my trade.
Okay. You know, I don't know where you got that number, Rob. Okay, it's a good number.
Yeah.
Okay, we actually think the vehicle can be worth significantly more than that. All right. So we're basically $1,500 apart. But if you take away the tax credit, now we're $915 apart. So we're not that far apart. Now, your car can be easily worth $10,500. As a matter of fact, we're betting that it can be worth closer to $11,500. However, somebody's got to spend money, invest money in that car to make it worth that. Now, if it turns out that it makes sense for you to do that, I would not only encourage you to, I would help you do that. You know, we talked about some of the things a few minutes ago. It's going to need $800 worth of tires. All right, it's going to need at least $150 worth of detail. I'm not even going to talk about the services or the dings and the dents or anything else, because I don't really think I need to. If you just invested $950 into your car, okay? You want 10.5. It's worth $9,000. If you just spent $950 and you just lost a tax credit, basically here's how it would work. If you pull out of here, okay, and you're heading back towards 285, and right in front of Jim Ellis there's a light. Somebody pulls up next to you and they said, "Hey Rob, that's a nice car." Or they wouldn't know your name. They roll down the window and say, "Hey, nice car." And you said, "Thank you." And they said, "Is it for sale?" And you went, "As a matter of fact, it is." And they said, what do you want for it?" And they said, $10,500. And they went, "Well, put some tires on it, get the dings and dents out, we'll give you 10.5. Well, what you'd have to do is spend $950, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you did that and you came back here, the price of our car would have gone up $585. So let's just do the math and see if it makes sense, okay? Take 10,500, subtract 9,000, subtract 950 for the expenses, subtract $585.
Make it 35. So you guys are giving me $35 more than it's worth?
No, we're giving you exactly what it's worth. Okay? Because we're not going to sell it for 10.5.
Yeah.
Okay? We may end up selling it for 10.5. We have an intent of turning a profit on every car we take in on trade, but we don't. We don't make money on every single trade by any stretch of the imagination. But this is our business. We're fairly good at it. As you can see, for you to invest $950 into a vehicle that you're not going to drive anymore in order to lose $35, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Okay? By the way, most people, if you offered a car for sale, they're going to want a discount, aren't they? We haven't even talked about that because we don't need to. So what I need to know from you is, are there any other options or accessories you'd like to add to your new Honda before you take delivery?
I think that I might just try to sell it myself.
Okay. And you know what? That might be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
If you could sell it yourself and net a significant amount of money, I would, again, encourage you to do it, and I would help you do it, because obviously the quicker we could help you sell your car, the quicker you could get back here and buy our car. All right. Let me share some things with you that our customers have shared with us about selling a car themselves, okay? Number one, you got to prepare your vehicle, which means you have to get it completely detailed. Then you have to keep it clean, because it takes us between 35 and 55 days to sell a pre-owned vehicle off our lot, and we've got about 45,000 cars going by us every single day, plus we advertise, and there's 30 of us that are paid to sell these. So there's a chance it might take you that long too. You want to create a great ad, because the ad is what drives phone calls, and you want the phones to ring off the hook. Rob, don't make the mistake a lot of our customers have. Don't count on an answering machine or your voicemail to handle these calls, because when someone's looking for a car, they're going down a list. I mean, you're selling a 2010 Chevrolet Malibu, there's going to be hundreds of them for sale. When they get a voicemail, they just hang up and they go to the next number. So give them your cell phone number and make sure you answer all the calls. You're going to want to set appointments. And the way this works is, with us, if we get 200 phone calls, we'll have 100 people with enough interest to engage them in conversation about a particular vehicle. We'll have 50 who will say that they'd like to make an appointment. We'll have 25 that will make an appointment, and we'll have 12 who will actually show up. All right? So to get 200 people to call, you'll get 12 appointments out of that. You'll miss about half of them, but look, if there's enough money in it, it's worth the effort. Make no mistake about that. You'll want to do all the paperwork that's involved in selling a car, which is a lot of it. I can provide you most of it. A lot of it you're going to have to get from the state, though. You're going to have to anticipate the no-shows. You're going to get to meet a lot of strangers. Now, avoid car thieves. Now, it used to be that if you wanted to steal a car, what you did was you went out after midnight. You had a ski mask on and a slim dude. I mean, you'd crawl over some barbed wire, fenced-in area and steal a car. Well, you don't do it that way anymore. Car thieves are the masters of the internet. What they do is they look up the type of car they want on the internet. They call somebody up who will willingly make an appointment with them, and they'll go over there and they'll give you a bogus driver's license and a counterfeit $100 bill and ask you if they can take it for a ride. And 2 or 3 hours later, you'll realize that they're not coming back. And then it gets worse, because if you call the highway patrol and say, look, someone stole my car, the first question they ask you is, how did they steal it? And you say, well, I handed them the keys. And they say, well, in that event, if you handed them the keys, you have to wait 24 hours to report it stolen.
Really?
Do you know where your car could be in 24 hours? Colombia. Okay? Because that's where they go. You know, people don't steal cars to drive them, they steal cars to chop them up, they steal cars to ship them overseas. So make sure you ride with everybody. Okay? Now, you'll sell it more than once. What I mean by that is it happens to us, it happens to everybody else. Someone's going to shake your hand, look you dead in the eye, and say, Rob, we'll take the car. And then you'll never hear from them again. A car like yours is going to require financing. Maybe they couldn't get financing. Maybe they saw something else on the way home. But you will sell it, don't worry. You'll have to verify the funds if they bring you a cashier's check, because those are easily forgeable now. Then you'll deliver the vehicle, and over here we wanted the phone to ring. Over here we don't want the phone to ring. A lot of people have to change their numbers, because what happens is that nobody ever calls you up and says, thanks for selling me a nice car. They call you up with every little bitty problem that the car has, and they want you to fix it. But you know what? If you net enough, it's worth it. Now we can buy it for $9,000. What do you think you might ask for this car if you were going to sell it yourself? $12,000?
Probably like 11.5.
Okay, 11.5. Let's shoot ourselves 30 days into the future. Okay, you've had 25 people call, 200 people call. You have 25 people make appointments. 12 have showed up. You sold the car twice, but the people never returned with the money. This time you come back off the test drive, because you're riding with everybody too. And this nice young couple says, hey, we love this car, all right? In fact, we've got cash money. And they pull out of their car a grocery bag full of $10,750 in $100 bills plus a 50, okay? Now that is $1,750 more than we can pay for the car. Is there a chance you might take that?
Yes.
Sure. Because you would discount it $750, so the net difference is, let's see, 11, 12, 2,500 more. So you basically discount that $750. So do me a favor, 2,500 minus $750 is what?
1750.
$1,750. And if you can net $1,750, that's a ton of money. I'd do it. But in order to make the car worth $12,000 or 11.5, or in this case 11.5 minus 750, you know what? You're going to have to do some services. All right, you're going to have to spend money on tires. Okay, if people are going to pay a top dollar for the car, they're going to want it to be in good, very good condition. You're going to have to detail it and keep it clean. Forget that just for a second. You probably have to do the services that are due, because they're going to want to see the service records. I mean, USA Today, in an article several months ago, in the business section, says if you're going to buy a car from a private party, an automobile dealer, or a used car dealer, ask for the service records. If they don't have them, it's a red flag. Do one of two things: either find another car or offer them less. So you're going to want to at least have the last service done. You can probably get that done. In fact, I'll see if we can get it done at our cost, which would be $300. I don't think you need any other repairs, additional depreciation. I'm not going to worry about that right now. You'd have to spend about $50 to advertise it. And here's something that most people don't think about. You have got your monthly payments are $275 right now. You're probably going to have